A new report shows that Gen Z is scared of the job market. Well, let's unpack what's happening. I have an article that lays out all of the details. I'll pull it up on the screen here. The title of the article is "Job Hugging is the Newest Career Trend. Here's what it means and why Gen Z is into it." It's written by Grace Snelling, and we're not going to read through it all, but I'll give you guys some like the main points. I'll give you the highlight reel. The era of job hopping is over. Get ready for job hugging. It says a global consultancy firm has published a new report showing that employees are no longer moving quickly between new job opportunities and are instead choosing to stick it out in their current positions for the foreseeable future. The report found that, quote, at an alarming rate, more and more employees are displaying what is colloquially known as job hugging, which is to say holding on to their jobs for dear life. So just a few years ago, in the aftermath of COVID, as things were opening up, it was commonplace for people to jump from job to job, chasing better opportunities, especially after the dust settled from the pandemic and the economy opened up. There were jobs everywhere. Everyone was hiring again after being off for so long. I'm thinking like 2021, 2022, and early into 2023, this seemed to be the trend. And the article says that this job hopping thing was trending because younger workers were looking to climb the corporate ladder. And of course, like I explained, the economy opened back up because of lessened COVID restrictions and a lot of other reasons. So I guess there's a few reasons why job hugging is becoming the trend rather than job hopping. The study found that AI disruption, AI taking jobs, a lack of new jobs is also playing into this. And it gets into that later in the article. And the numbers are not looking good. I'll touch on it again later in the article, but I just want to emphasize that in July of this year, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, so the BLS, they put out a report that said the U.S. economy created just 73,000 jobs in July, down from the 111,000 month average earlier this year. July was not a good month for job creation, and there's many reasons for this, right? High inflation, Trump's tariffs are, throwing the market into periods of major flux. And the article mentions that in addition to the tariffs and the inflation, AI technology is changing how some organizations are structured, threatening some occupations with replacement. So there's a few reasons why this is happening, but I want to get into the meat of the article, which talks about what is job hugging, what is going on. So a July report from Eagle Hill Consulting showed that a majority of employees plan to stay in their current position for at least the next 6 months, with Gen Z employees reporting the highest intent to remain where they are. And this is a key point here. Data found that the Market Opportunity Indicator, which is a measure of employees' perception of the outside job market, has dropped to its lowest level since the report's inception. So the workforce's confidence in the job market overall is the lowest it's been since the creation of this study. In another report from coaching firm Challenger, Gray & Christmas, the data from their report shows that through the end of July this year, US-based employers had announced more than 800,000 job eliminations in 2025, the highest number of jobs lost in the same period since the pandemic in 2020. So AI, low market confidence are causing hundreds of thousands of jobs to just be eliminated because businesses and organizations, they fear that perhaps they can't afford to retain certain positions, or perhaps they're predicting a recession soon. But on top of that horror scene, like I mentioned earlier, job growth was extremely sluggish in July, only 73,000 jobs created in July. And the article ends by talking about market instability being a key factor in job hugging. It says market instability is one of the major reasons I see as to why candidates are reluctant to move. Top performers are waiting for a more stable market before they risk with a new role and company. Top performers are generally only leaving if they are miserable in their current role, are offered a significant compensation increase, or are feeling very unsettled with their company's visibility, leadership, and culture. So the workforce, broadly, has a very low confidence in the job market because we're seeing very negative trends in the job market in all types of industries. So workforce confidence in the job market is down because of several factors, including higher cost of living, inflation. Inflation is still bad. AI is causing all kinds of instability as well. Trump's tariffs have harmed, like I said, all sorts of industries, especially the auto manufacturing industry. People have been laid off. People have lost hours. I know people personally who work for GM here in Michigan whose hours are being cut or who have actually been laid off. And the reason they were given by the company is because of the tariffs. They were told directly that due to increased costs from the tariffs, their profit throughout the rest of the year took a huge hit because of increased supply costs. Another thing to take into consideration is that the unemployment rate is the highest it's been since 2001. But like I said earlier, there's a reason why the economy was, booming in 2021 when Biden took over. It's because everything was opening back up. Everyone was hiring again. Job creation was at an all-time high. All in all, people are just scared of a recession. Inflation still remains a problem. The cost of living is continuing to rise while wages are not keeping up. And even if GDP is going well, which it hasn't been amazing in Trump's second term, but even if it was going well, if you strip out the sectors of the economy like tech and AI, and you look at like the ordinary sectors of the economy, like manufacturing, small businesses, GDP is extremely weak if you strip out the tech and the AI, which I think is the best way you can analyze how GDP is truly affecting the economy. So yeah, I guess those are some of the major factors as to why people, especially Gen Z, are clinging onto their jobs more tightly than they may have done just a few years ago. The economy is not looking great. Job creation is stagnant, and confidence in the job market overall is at an all-time low.